What's up, guys? 3Gun Kenzie back on the channel. Once again, talking about Nighthawk. So, full disclaimer, I shoot for Nighthawk. Nighthawk Custom makes the finest firearms in the world. So today, we're talking about my all-new Sandhawk. This is a dream gun for me to finally have and own. So thank you, Nighthawk, for making such a beautiful Sandhawk pistol. This is actually my new go-to competition gun. So in 3Gun, this is what I'm actually shooting. I loved the Boardroom double stack 9mm pistol. But the biggest difference moving to the Sandhawk is it's compensated. So we'll talk about it. First off, let's talk about the controls and we'll get into the fun stuff. But this is still your double stack 1911. So on the rear, it does come with a grip safety. However, this is for me only, and just disclaimer again, because I shoot for them, is they did make it flush and pinned it essentially for me to compete with, because in a lot of 3Gun competitions, you never know how you're going to be gripping the gun, if you're going to be shooting weak hand, strong hand, what have you. So that is unique to me, but typically you're going to have your grip safety. And then we have our single-sided safety right here on the left. So easy to manipulate, easy to control, absolutely amazing. Now, my favorite part about this gun, seriously, is the texture. I want to say maybe 2 years now, I could be wrong, they changed or they upgraded to a more aggressive texture for us competition shooters. That was kind of our biggest thing, was we want to be able to grip our guns, whether it's snowing, raining, in mud. These guns, even though they are beautiful and fine, they do get put to work, and they are used in some of the harshest conditions, because 3Gun especially, we don't stop just for, you know, a hurricane. But anyway, so the texture is super aggressive, which is what you want, you know, when you are, again, running and gunning, shooting on the move, shooting in different environmental conditions. That texture is just unbelievable. So love that. You do have your kind of a more of, I would say, extended magazine release. For me, just because it's a little bit of a bigger firearm, I do kind of flip a little bit to release the magazine. I've always kind of had to do that. But I added, again, this is for me, but I added the Dawson Ice Magwell. So I've done this again on the BDS-9 that I had, and I've done this on other competition guns. I am not the best at reloading, especially on the move or, you know, speed. I didn't start in production division when I shot USPSA. So I love a big flared magwell. Yes, it's huge. Hey, that's what they offer. You can't miss your reloads with this magwell. If you do, it's on you. So I'm just going to say that right now. What is kind of comical, though, is Nighthawk ships this gun with 2 of their 17-round magazines. But once I put it in, it disappears. It's gone. So I would not recommend running this magazine specifically in this gun, just because if you don't seat it, you know, it's going to fall off, but it's just a little bit weird with the magwell. So had to mention that. Okay. The compensator. So it is an integrated single port compensator. So this is built in to the gun, and that's the difference again between the BDS-9 and the Sandhawk design. So you can kind of see the single port up here. And what that does is obviously push gases upward when you're shooting, and it helps mitigate that recoil. These guns love hot, faster velocity ammunition. They like that compensator to be used. So what I did is I changed up. In my BDS-9, I had 124 grain super vel ammo, and I changed up to shoot the 115 grain. The reason I did that again is it's a little bit faster velocity. This gun likes it more, so that's what I switched to. I like to kind of customize my ammunition to the gun and let the gun kind of speak to me, but Supervel is awesome. What you need to know too about Supervel is if you see a yellow box, that means that that is their factory new ammo. They do make remanufactured ammunition, and those come in 500 round bags. They do bulk shipping. I mean, it's just insane. You need to check out supervelammunition.com because they make some great stuff, but just so you know, they do still make factory new. So when I go to a big competition, that's what I use. Okay, going back to the gun, because Nighthawk does everything classy. The front bead is 14 karat gold. So have to have that. Absolutely beautiful. And what's unique about this, and kind of like if you saw the double agent video, they actually are making their optic plates with the front or the rear sight in front of the optic. So, you know, in times past, if you had the rear sight, you know, maybe it's sitting back here and the optic's more front, you have this big gap before you even see the window of your optic. And it's kind of just a little bit harder to pick up that rear sight, but with the, you know, dot being right there and the window being at the end and that rear sight sitting right in front, it's actually more intuitive to pick up that rear sight. So I'm kind of enjoying that. And it's going to depend on what optic you use, and I'll talk about that in a second, what I use, but you still have your rear sight and your beautiful gold beaded front sight. You do have a full dust cover, which I absolutely love the design of, and then you do have your Picatinny rail here, so if you did want to attach a light, you could. Now, because I shoot so many different double stack 1911s and I've, you know, obviously upgraded along the way with Nighthawk, it's cool to know this, that my holsters fit this gun. So 5-inch, you know, barrel, pistol, 1911 style, it works. So that's nice to have that compatibility. And we'll talk about magazine compatibility as well. Now, the trigger, oh, and the action. I wish you could feel this. If you could feel this from afar, just know it's like butter. But the trigger here, you have a really nice custom flat trigger. Boom. This is customized to me. Again, shooting for Nighthawk, we do have a little bit of perks of having our guns modified in ways that fit us and our shooting ability. But, you know, this is going to come with probably a 3.5, 4-pound trigger, a flat trigger, and it shoots lights out, guys. I'm in love. So let's talk about the optic on here. So 507 comp. So 507C, you can call it comp, whatever you want to say, from Holosun. This is probably the best red dot optic out there that's ever been designed for competition shooters. They absolutely revolutionized the market when they came out with this because of the multi-reticle system. So you have a 2 MOA dot, and then you have an 8, a 20, and a 32 MOA ring. What's nice about that, or circle, whatever you want to call it, what's nice about that though is you can run any single one of those or a combination of both. And where I'm going with that and why it matters is when I'm shooting competition, I still run the 2 MOA dot, and then I'll run that 20 MOA circle. Why? In 3-gun, especially Zoo City matches, they love to have 50-yard offhand shots or 60-yard, and they're not generous plates, they're small circles, right? So for those, I really want to come in and use that 2 MOA precision dot, that's my 0, you know, dot, to hit those long targets. Now, again, I get three gunners are always, you know, I would say belittled about our pistol shooting ability. I don't think I suck with pistol, but when you see brown and you have a big giant 20 MOA circle, you just pull the trigger, right? 2 hits on brown neutralizes the target, or 1 in the A zone. But that's what I like about the bigger circle, is that way you can shoot faster targets or close-up targets really quickly, but then to make those precise shots, you have that 2 MOA dot. So amazing. Okay, compatibility with magazines, because this was really important. You know, there's Checkmate magazines, Atlas magazines, MBX magazines. There's a lot out there for double stack 1911s, 2011s, whatever you want to say. And I run MBX. And I've actually been trying out their new coated ones, which are pretty sick. But for open division, you can run 170 millimeter length magazines, so you have a ton of capacity. I'm probably gonna get this wrong, but I'll say like 28 rounds, 29 rounds. What's unique about these that I ordered specifically is that they have competition followers. So these are intentionally designed to not make the slide lock back. And that's because we, as competition shooters, plan our reloads in advance. We don't just run the gun dry until it locks back, and we don't want to do a standing reload with the gun with the slide lock back. We want to plan those reloads so we never run out of ammunition. And we want the most rounds possible in these guns. So that's really important. And then moving back down, you have the 140 length magazines. So these are barely kind of sitting under that mag well. So you still are able to seat it. It's not going up into it, and it looks a little bit weird, but the reason why you want to have and be able to run both magazines is because the reload's on the move. Now, what I mean by that is it's easier to reload into a 140 than it is to a 170. And that takes time and practice. You know, dry fire is a big thing and big component of training, especially for competition. So I like having these as kind of like my backup magazine or my going into a reload magazine, unless I'm forced to do the 170s, which again, Zoo City will make you do that on some of these long pistol runs. So love that they're compatible with everything. And then finally, I gotta mention the case that it comes in. Beautiful. So Savior Equipment teamed up with Nighthawk to create these beautiful custom bags that all of their guns come in. It's got a foam cutout for whatever gun model that you order, your foam cutouts for the magazines that comes with it as well, and then all sorts of storage compartments and zippers and all of that in here. And I gotta talk about the wall behind me, because this is my favorite part of when I'm done with this. Just turn around above the other Nighthawk, whoop, put on my gun wall. So Savior Equipment makes this entire gun wall rack storage. They have all sorts of different attachments. You can see if you want to do a suppressor, a barrel mounted here, right there. Boom, love it. But they make rifle racks. Obviously you can put your optics on there. I've got, yeah, already zeroed optics on mounts in the background, my bipods, but Savior Equipment does makes the finest, I think, range gear, range bags. One of the bags that I have that I love is the backpack. It's waterproof, the way they seal and create their zippers. We have actually shot our poor Nighthawks in the rain. Again, these guns run and they are abused and they are loved. You know, having the right gear for the right weather is really important. So can't say enough good things. I want to say thank you again to Nighthawk for having me on the team. Super Value Ammunition, I shoot for them. I'm honored to shoot for them. They make the best ammo that keeps me running throughout the year. So stay tuned for more videos coming soon. And if you ever see me at a match and you want to shoot the Sandhawk, come find me. I would love to have you shoot this gun. It is worth shooting. I love seeing other people shoot it. It's just a blast, and I think it's my favorite gun I've ever owned in my life, especially being a dream gun. So stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Look at it in the light. So much prettier in the light. Woo! I think that's 3 types of Cerakote and an anodized. It's just absolutely beautiful. Sandhawk done. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. Look. Doesn't move.